Hey guys, and welcome to another episode. Today in this video, I'm going to be buying a set of track wheels and tires. So, as you guys know, I've gone to the track a couple times, and it's a ton of fun. And with that being said, I want to get new wheels and tires that are not only lighter, but that are also grippier. So I actually found an ad for NK RPF ones with a set of Michelin Super Sports or Pilot Sport tires for cheap. So I'm actually going to pick them up. It's a little bit of a drive. It's about 2-hour drive for me to go pick them up. But for the price point, I don't get why they're not sold. They've been up for a while, but I don't know. Don't ask me. So I messaged the owner. Apparently he said that they're 5x114, which is the bolt pattern that I need for my car. I checked the offset online. Everything looks like it's gonna work out. So yeah, I'm on my way right now to go pick up the wheels and tires, and then I'll have a set of track wheels, and I'm pumped. So next Friday, I'll actually be going to the track again, and I'm gonna be using these tires and utilizing them to their full advantage. So the tires on there, on the wheels that I'm gonna go pick up, they're actually grippier than the ones that I have on my car right now. So the ones that I have, they're 340 tread wear. These things are 180. So it means that the rubber on them is a lot softer. So that means I'm gonna be able to get more grip, and I'm gonna be able to shave off a couple seconds off my lap times. So I'm really looking forward to it. But I'm on my way to Toronto, or actually Pickering, to go pick them up. But yeah, let's go for a spin. So I'd say I'm about 15 minutes out, and I was just thinking of some of the stuff that I'm gonna be doing to my car before I go to the track. So I've got new wheels and tires going on the car, well, once I pick them up. I need to adjust my coilovers, especially the ones in the back. The rear right coilover is making a little bit of a noise whenever I go over a bump, and I think it might be the bolt on the top of the strut, the one that holds the spring on. So I'm gonna take a look at that. But more importantly, my car, I haven't really done many things to make the car faster. I've done a lot of bolt-ons, but I'm not gonna really be taking advantage of it to the most that I can. So I've got cat deletes on the car. I've got an intake. It's a tire on the road. I've got an aftermarket throttle body spacer. I've got a bunch of aftermarket parts in the car, but because I haven't done a tune, my car isn't really taking advantage of those things. So I'm actually also gonna be getting a tune done to the car. So I bought a tuner kit. It's actually called K-Tuner, and I'm gonna be able to go through all of my data logging, numbers and everything, all the features, all the tables, everything on the car, and I'll be able to get a decent amount of horsepower. I'll be able to get some extra horsepower out of the car. So a lot of people that have done this are saying that with the 4-bangers, just like they have in my car, they've been able to get about an extra 20 horsepower at the wheels. Now that's definitely noticeable power difference. So I'm definitely gonna be doing that, and I'll bring you guys along the entire process. But these wheels and tires are gonna make a big difference when I go to the track. I'll be able to brake later, because the brakes that I have on the car, the Brembos that I just installed, are fantastic. Well, the 4-piston brakes are fantastic. They aren't quite doing the best that they can, only because the rubbers that I have on the car right now, don't get me wrong, they're great tires, but they could be better. So I'm gonna be getting stickier tires. Those are going on the car, and I'm gonna be able to brake better with that. I'll be able to turn harder, and everything is gonna be better when you change your tires. Now I'm almost there. I just have to get off the highway in 2 seconds, but there's a really cool car that's approaching me from behind, and I'll see if I can take a shot of it. The thing is sweet. I love this car. It's probably one of my dream cars. If you guys can guess what it is, you're getting an extra 5 points. So yeah, ready? Do you have a guess what it is? Okay, now I'm gonna wait for it to come up. What's that? One day I'm getting one. So it just started to rain quickly. I got the wheels and tires, they're in the back. But yeah, I was able to manage to fit them inside my back seat, only because I've got my sub and amp in the back. Well, I took apart my sub, I left it at home, but I still have the amp back there. So the last thing that I would want is for one of these wheels to say move around and hit my amp and break it. But yeah, RPF ones, I'm so pumped. They look sweet, they look like they're brand new. So I spoke to the guy that owned these wheels before, and he said that he only had them mounted on his car for about 500 kilometers. So I mean, these things are basically new. He wanted to go with a set of larger wheels and tires, but I mean, that is perfect for me. So let's go home and let's go mount these things on the Accord. Let's see how it looks. So guys, these are the new wheels. Now they're slightly dirty because they're used. There's a tiny bit of brake dust found on these things, but I mean, it's not much. So me being as OCD as I am, I'm gonna detail them, clean them up, and get rid of any brake dust that's on there now, so that when I install them, the car's gonna look awesome. So I have 2 wheels already cleaned up over here, and then once I have those ones looking the same, I'll mount them all on the car. Something that I noticed when I was cleaning up the wheels is 2 things. So number 1, if you guys remember on my other set of wheels, my TSWs that are currently mounted on the Accord, these center caps, when I brought them to the racetrack, they got so hot that they warped. And that's because this was plastic. Now on these wheels right here, the center cap is actually made out of aluminum. So when I go to the racetrack, I'm not gonna be warping these things or deforming them in any way. Now, the second thing that I noticed is up here. Now I'm gonna have to focus in on this and change a couple things. Now, you remember when I said that the tread wear was 180? I lied. What's that number right there? 80. These tires are gonna grip so well when I go to the track. Like, it's actually gonna be stupid the difference in grip between these and the ones that I currently have on the Accord. Now, these are 225s, and these are the same width that I have on the front, but because they're that much stickier of a tire, I'm gonna be able to grip a lot more. But the downside of that is that I'm gonna be going through tires much faster, only because they're a softer compound. So because these wheels aren't that dirty, I'm gonna be using Meguiar's non-acid wheel and tire cleaner. Now, if these wheels were very bad, I'd use an acid-based wheel cleaner, such as Meguiar's wheel brightener over here. But because it's not too bad, I'm gonna stick to this, and I'm gonna be diluting it 8:1. Now, I've already got that inside my spray bottle right here, and it's gonna be doing a fantastic job at cleaning up and removing all the brake dust. Now, all that I'm gonna be doing is grabbing my product right here, spray it all over the rim, let it sit for about 20 seconds, and then come in afterwards with either any of these kind of wheel brushes right here, or even a paintbrush to agitate all the brake dust, and then I'll rinse it off. So I've got all 4 wheels cleaned up and ready to be installed on the car. Now I just need to put tire dressing on these 2 tires over here. But as it stands, they're all cleaned up and removed of any brake dust. Now I'm going right now to go get my hair cut. As you guys can tell, it's getting pretty long, so I need to get it trimmed. But the next time you see this beautiful face, it's actually gonna be trimmed. So in the next scene, I'm gonna have short hair, and my car's gonna be jacked up in the air, ready to go. So I'm back, and there's the haircut, as I promised. Ooh, looks good. But more important than that, you wanna see what looks even better? That. So I've got the NKs mounted up, and they look unreal. So because the rim is smaller, it actually fills out the brake. No, how do I say this? Because the wheel is smaller and the brakes are large, because I went to 1 inch smaller wheel, the brakes look bigger because it fills it out more. So I've got this side mounted up, and it looks fantastic. I actually can't wait to mount this on the car properly, because right now I've only got 3 lug nuts installed. So I can't wait to get this all ready on the road and then test drive this thing. Ah, I'm pumped. All right, so these are the RPF ones with the Michelin tires on them, and you can see that on the scale they weigh 34 pounds. Okay, now I'm gonna take this off and then show you the difference between this wheel versus my TSWs. All right, so this is now my TSW, this is my rear. So this right here, as you can tell, it weighs between 44 and 45 pounds. So that's a very big weight difference between the wheels and tires. So that means that when I have these new tires mounted on the car, I'm gonna have a very big difference of unsprung weight. So unsprung weight is any mass that you have on the car that moves up and down as you drive. So any part of the suspension, your wheels, your brakes, your lug nuts, all that stuff, because it actually jounces up and down when you go over a bump or when you turn the steering wheel, that is not good. You wanna try to minimize the unsprung weight as much as you can so you can maximize traction, handling, and so that you can accelerate and decelerate the car as fast as possible. Now that's ideal for racing situations. So that means that this wheel setup right here is gonna outperform this on the track all day long. This wheel and tire setup completely changed the look of the car. Now the backs are the same size as the front, so this is what's called a square setup. Now I did not have this when I had my TSWs mounted on the car. So my fronts are 8-inch wides, and the same thing goes for the back wheels. Now for my TSWs, my front wheel is an 8, but my rear is a 9.5. And if you can see the size difference between the two, you can tell that these are different. So that means that this setup is gonna be a little bit different than this right here. This is gonna be different than the ones I have on the car. So with a setup like this, I can rotate the tires however which way I want. So I can put the fronts on the back and the backs on the front, should the tires wear down. But I can't do that for a staggered setup like this. Ah, they're in. They look so good.
They actually look shit.
They look shit, Luca?
Yeah.
Good. Now, because this setup is square, I'm not gonna have the same fitment that I had in the back, but even still, performance-wise, my TSWs are not gonna beat these by any means. Now stay tuned, guys. In my next video, I'm gonna show you what you need to do to get your car ready for the track. Now, thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions regarding the video, throw them down in the comment section below, and I'd be happy to help. Again, guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace. And this is why I hate coming to Toronto, or at least to surrounding areas. There's traffic everywhere, and it's just painful. I hate this stuff. I don't want to sound impatient, but traffic, if there's anything in this world that I could get rid of, it would be traffic.